Natural milk proteins protect against heart disease. Heart disease, more precisely termed cardiovascular disease, is the major killer of the population worldwide. The symptoms of heart disease develop over many years and often do not become obvious until old age. Autopsies of young adults under 20 years of age have shown that many of them have atherosclerotic plaque in their arteries. This finding indicates that plaque buildup can begin in childhood and continue throughout life, though it may go unnoticed for many years. Hypertension, diabetes, LDL, and smoking are some of the many processes that lead to blood vessel injury that starts plaque formation. The plaque thickens as layers of cholesterol, smooth muscles, and calcium are deposited. Arteries harden and narrow, making them less elastic. Unable to extend, blood vessels cannot accommodate alterations in blood flow and the blood pressure rises. Plaque occludes coronary arteries, blood vessels supplying the heart, to varying extent. A variety of cells and lipids are involved in the pathogenesis of plaque, including lipoproteins, cholesterol, triglyceride platelets, white blood cells, endothelial cells, and smooth muscles. Nutrition may influence the development of heart disease by modifying one or more of these factors. Proteins form an integral part of natural diet. Epidemiological studies strongly support the hypothesis that increased protein intake can lower blood pressure. Dietary patterns associated with a high protein intake have been associated with a reduced risk of ischemic heart disease. Long-term supplementation of an amino acid mixture reduces ischemic damage and preserves cardiac muscle. In the cell, amino acids maintain protein stores and counter the adverse effects of stress hormones on the myocardium. Thus, protein supplementation can protect the cardiac muscle from the hypercatabolic state seen in chronic diseases such as hypertension and heart failure. Milk is often seen as a potential promoter of atherosclerosis and coronary heart disease because it is a source of cholesterol and saturated fatty acids. But several studies indicate that certain milk components may actually be beneficial if separated from its fat content. These protein milk products may actively protect from atherosclerosis and heart disease by improving several risk factors. Calcium, bioactive proteins, and as yet unidentified components in whole milk, may protect from hypertension and contribute to low homocysteine levels. Increased protein intake and decreased coffee consumption may reduce homocysteine and potentially prevent atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease and other disease outcomes. Conjugated linoleic acid may have hyperlipidemic and antioxidative properties, and thus anti-atherosclerotic properties. Epidemiological studies suggest that protein-based milk and milk products fit well into a healthy eating pattern. Substitution of dietary protein for carbohydrate-heavy products alters the human blood cholesterol levels and may contribute to cardiovascular risk. Casein makes up roughly 80% of the protein found in milk and is the primary reason why milk protein protects against heart disease. Casein has the unique ability of forming clots in the stomach. This makes it very efficient in nutrient supply. The clot is able to provide a sustained slow release of amino acids into the bloodstream, sometimes lasting for several hours. This helps meet the demand for an increased supply of amino acids, increased energy, and increased protein synthesis. Caseokinins and lactokinins, present in casein, lower blood pressure levels. These substances inhibit the formation of presses in blood vessels while enhancing production of hormones that dilate blood vessels. Whey, which forms 20% of milk protein, is also responsible for some of the beneficial effects. The beta-lactoglobulin fraction of whey protein inhibits cholesterol absorption in the intestine and lowers the total cholesterol levels in the body. Whey protein is rich in certain amino acids and low in fat. The amino acid cysteine can be found in relatively high amounts in whey protein. High level of dietary cysteine boosts immune function, enhances resistance to infection and elevates glutathione, GSH, levels, an antioxidant enzyme containing cysteine. The terminal events before heart attacks involve oxidative damage to arterial plaques, blocking blood vessels. Effective levels of glutathione, maintained by adequate consumption of whey proteins, minimize risks of oxidative damage. This can also prevent cardiovascular disease and aid recovery. Thus, protein supplements, based on protein complexes whey and casein, deliver the natural, heart-protecting goodness of milk without general adverse effects.